So Sky have said that he's intrigued. Sky have said that he's sort of like, there's a slight change in the deal. Ben Jacobs has come out and given. I love Ben to bits, but there's still an important bit of information missing. But has said that the player hasn't yet given any encouragement to Spurs, but they are willing to bid if he does change his mind. Spurs are aware that the player's preference is Manchester United, but Spurs have told Brentford to keep them abreast, keep them up to date with what's going on. And what's your view on this stuff? Obviously, every rival and his dog has jumped on this like a bitch in heat. It's going to happen. United are going to get embarrassed. Very few rivals want to make a prediction, though, which I do find telling. But are you pressed? Are you concerned about this, Staffy, as a Man United fan?
I feel like people are doing too much of it, but I understand it's Friday. It's a slow news day, maybe. The weekend is coming in. The transfer window is technically closed right now, so people need something to talk about. And I think they just made this one just a big deal out of nowhere. I feel like a lot of people woke up today surprised all of a sudden that Thomas Frank has been the manager of Spurs, as if we didn't know for over a week or two now that he's going to be the manager. They're like, oh, maybe now that he's the Tottenham manager, maybe Mbeumo is going to go. I'm pretty sure, and Mbeumo is known for quite a while now, that Thomas Frank is going to Spurs. I'm sure they spoke. I'm sure they text. I'm sure he knew about it. It's not like Mbeumo woke up today and he's like, oh my God, Thomas Frank, this little bitch, he didn't tell me he's going to Spurs. If he would have told me, I would have probably agreed to go to Spurs as well. I promise you, Mbeumo already knew. So listen, I understand Spurs wanting to, now that especially that they got Thomas Frank, they're trying to get Mbeumo. They've been interested in him anyways up until this summer. Leading into the summer, I should say. So I'm not surprised that they're letting him know, like, hey, listen, just in case you change your mind, not only do we still want you, we got your gaffer. So let us know if anything changes. And I haven't heard anything about him changing his opinion on joining Man United. So I'm not really concerned about it. It's regular transfer talk to me, honestly. I'd be lying if I told you I'm concerned.
Listen,
what are you going to say?
I get you want to downplay it and all of that and everything that you're saying, but it does stand to it. If Spurs have genuine interest as a club, like, and they've got the money there to spend, then it stands to reason that can definitely turn Mbeumo's head, because there is not just the Thomas Frank links, it's the Champions League football as well at the same time. So when you couple that, it's a manager he knows, has performed well under, is probably close with, and playing Champions League football, that's hard to turn down. So if Spurs make a genuine approach,
but he already did. Did they just get Champions League football today? He's known that they've had Champions League football.
I'm saying everything that you're talking about, Staffy, he's never and Mbeumo's never come out and said, I just want Man United. Like, Man United is.
What do you mean? The report said that. The report says his preference is to join United.
All we can go on is reports. So, and with those reports, I'm not saying them reports are wrong, but it leaves out nuance and subtlety and context and intent, right? Of when he's looking at it, he might go and go, I'd like to go Man United. That's a good club. They want me. I have a good fit. But that doesn't mean that it's Man United or nothing. It doesn't mean if another club comes in, well, there's no way I'm going for them. Like, none of this has been said. So we're going off these reports.
But it has been said. It has been said. So Spurs already approached.
Mbeumo quote.
Well, okay, we haven't heard anything from the player, but if we're going to start going down those lines, then we can't ever talk about anything. We can't ever. You can't ever come on and say, "I don't like Bruno's attitude because I think it stinks in the dressing room." If there's no quote from anybody in the dressing room saying that it stinks, because you do things like that. So
we have to take things with a grain of salt, don't we?
Well, no, I don't think we take things with a grain of salt. I think we have to be open-minded. So I'm open-minded to the fact that he could change his mind. It is not impossible for Mbeumo to change his mind. But what we do know is that he has told Arsenal, told Newcastle, told Forest, and told Tottenham just 10 days ago that he wants to join Man United and not them. Thank you, but no thank you. Now, the offers from those clubs were all different. Arsenal clearly, for anyone who gets triggered, were offering him a backup role to Saka on the right, where United are offering him a first-team burst in the left side, did 10. But they all offered him a package. I still don't believe that at no point in those conversations with Tottenham, Thomas Frank's name came up. because at the same time that those conversations were happening, it was already well established in the press that Thomas Frank was a leading candidate for the football club. But what we were told by the likes of David Ornstein and Ben Jacobs and Fabrizio Romano and many other journalists who we all know are highly credible is that his preference and his aim and his desire is to join Manchester United. So, of course, his mind can change, but he has made a decision. Does Thomas Frank going change things? Potentially, but that's not what any of the reports have said. They said there's an intrigue. Now, again, what does that mean? What does intrigue mean? You read Ben Jacobs' report and it says Spurs are willing to pay more than Man United have offered so far. Man United are also willing to pay more than we've bid so far. They said if they receive any encouragement, which means they haven't been given any encouragement yet that the player has changed his mind. So I'm not panicked. Again, I've got a little concern. Oh, it'd be horrible to lose him now. I'd be frustrated. But there is no credible story that says the player has started to change his mind, is considering his options, is upset with the, United haven't got the deal over the line yet. The transfer window hasn't opened yet. There was a 10-day window that was solely put in place to help the World Club Cup teams sign players. And I know Liverpool did some business in that period, but you've got to remember why they did that. The main deal was Wirtz. It's because City were looking at him and Bayern were looking at him. Had they not done what they did in that opening since the end of the season until yesterday when they signed him, officially announced it, had they not have done the work then and said, we're not going to bother with any transfer talk until the summer, then Bayern or City could have got him. That's the only reason their major signing was done early is because two Club World Cup teams wanted him. I don't see why Man United fans should be panicking at this particular point. And equally, with all the rivals saying, you're being hijacked, nobody's willing to make a prediction. Nobody's willing to say, Terry, you are 100% getting hijacked, or it's highly likely you'll miss out. They're just winding us up. That's my view.
It's not highly likely, 100%. But to say like what Staffy was saying, I'm not worried. It's no issue. Like
it's how I feel, bro. I'm not concerned. You want me to be concerned?
Why is it Man United or nothing for Mbeumo? Why does Thomas Frank?
I just think we're gonna get the deal done.
No, but why?
They were just
why
10 days ago.
But what?
Go ahead.
No, I just want you. No, I'm just asking a question. I just want you to explain to me why he would turn down every other club, every other. I know Terry made the point about Arsenal, which is a good point. That being the first choice striker, first choice in his position. First person is going to be key, right? In that position. That's key, first team football. But in terms of like Spurs or other clubs, like why is it Man United? Like why is his heart so set on where he's going to
he's picked Man United. He said that Champions League football isn't wasn't like a deal breaker for him. He's bought into the project. There is a solid report that he was a United fan as a kid, so that can play a part. He likes what we don't know specifically what he's been told. They're never going to reveal that. But what he has been told by Ruben and by the club, out of all the offers he got, that was the one that was most appealing to him. What was really interesting is what we were also told. It was the money that he was being offered that was the real deal breaker. The only reason that he picked us was the money. So now suddenly he's going to change his mind to go and earn less money. But yet a week ago, what we were trying to be convinced and gaslit into believing as United fans is that he's a money grabber and he's a mercenary. Now suddenly he might not be a mercenary and a money grabber. At the end of the day, as things stand, he has picked Manchester United as his next destination. He doesn't want to play for any other club that has offered him a contract or offered him a deal. I'm not saying there's no other club he'd rather play for. He may change his mind. Neither Staffy or I have said he won't change his mind. He'd rather stay at Brentford than not join United. But what's more likely for me is not him changing his mind. What's more likely to stop this deal is Man United and Brentford not coming to an agreement. That's fundamental. And if we then walk away because we are saying we're not paying 75 million, and then Spurs say we will pay 75 million, and then he goes to Tottenham, that's fundamentally different from the player changing his mind. That is more plausible. So United go, do you know what? We've offered you 65 million in totality, and you're now asking for 75. You're taking the piss. If Man United walk away, and then in 4 or 5 weeks, Spurs bid the 75 million, and then Mbeumo says, right, I'll go to you then because United have walked away. That for me isn't the same as a hijack. That isn't the same as that's not the player rejecting you. That is you and Brentford not coming to an agreement. That's more likely, in my opinion, Then Mbeumo waking up this morning, being shocked, looking at his phone, going, "Oh my God, I can't believe old Thomas the Frank engine has gone to Spurs. I'm rethinking my life decisions." I don't think that's how it's working personally.
No. Of course, like it's not going to work. And listen, I think you're still the front runner, but what I'm saying is it's a threat. This is a threat to you. How big a threat we can debate on that, but it's something to show some level of concern about. I wouldn't just dismiss it, is what I'm saying. You are leading the race. You've done the groundwork. You've got the massive head start. All I'm saying is there is an attraction that if Spurs could potentially put together a good attempted package for him, that pull of Champions League and Frank, that could help. But all I'm saying is at the moment, yes, Man United are leading the race 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Already said everything that I
want to go. A lot of the chat are not happy. They're saying that I'm waffling. Plastic City fan here says Mbeumo chooses Spurs over Crisis United. Embarrassing. Well, you've said that we're a crisis, so it's not that embarrassing. For his